One Joplin business owner worries that global issues may impact her local store. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, we have some advice for dealing with home insurance during severe weather season, and families headed to the Pittsburgh Public Library for help with their heating bills.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A business in Joplin is among those bracing for the potential impacts of tariffs. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. This comes as President Trump places tariffs on several countries, citing a desire to crack down on illegal drugs crossing the border. KOAM Samantha Walker spoke with a small business owner who says she was unprepared for these global issues hitting close to home.
Augusta Bridal in Joplin is a small business offering a variety of special occasion wear, but the owner says new tariffs in the country are not only drawing concerns for her business, but the entire bridal industry.
I don't think anybody was prepared for it to be so detrimental.
Taylor Augusta Austin says she's been living the American dream for the past 3 years, operating her own bridal shop. But recently, President Trump imposed a 20% total tariff on imports from China, which she says has big impacts for businesses like hers.
I've been so encouraging to my brides and telling them get in sooner rather than later, because I don't know, come December, I could be having to pass that tariff on to the customer.
Many industries have spoken on the impacts tariffs on Mexico and Canada could have. Austin says a lot of products for the bridal industry come from China, and tariffs will have a big impact on price.
One of the most expensive items as women we will ever purchase is our wedding gown. 20% on top of that is something crazy.
She says while she can understand the need to do more U.S.-based production, the new tariffs came so quickly they didn't have time to prepare.
There needs to be structure and a plan in place in order for that change to happen. It just can't happen overnight because it's absolutely taking the small business America away.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce says tariffs are likely to impact not just small businesses, but also customers. In a statement, they say, quote, "Tariffs imposed by the United States are nothing more than a tax increase on American consumers and businesses. They call this the wrong approach, and that tariffs, quote, threaten to derail our nation's recent economic resurgence." Austin says she, like many business owners, has reached out to Missouri lawmakers to voice their desire for action.
Whether they read it or not, that's up to them, but I know that I'm at least doing my part, calling, sending messages, trying to get the word out and tell people, hey, this is coming, this is going to affect us. Is there any way that you can help?
She says she's not yet heard back from lawmakers, but hopes they've heard her concerns. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, tariffs are just one part of President Trump's America First trade policy. In a statement, President Trump says his policy promotes investment and productivity, enhances U.S. industrial advantages, and defends economic and national security. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, big switch for us today. 80 yesterday. Right now we're sitting into the 30s, so over 40 degrees colder across the region. 37 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh. We have the light rain mixing with a little bit of light sleet, and of course our winds 50 to 60 most of the day. We had a few that cranked above 60, pushing 70, but our average gust this afternoon was about 52, 53 miles per hour. Still, those northwesterly winds kicking in at 20 and our gusts still near 40. The winds will finally start to come down, especially after midnight tonight. It's cold, sitting into the upper 30s through the evening hours. A little light rain and sleet mix. Mainly rain right now, mixing with some sleet pellets, and eventually we'll get some light snow in here. Now, it was 80 yesterday. It's above freezing. The ground is warm. But if it comes down at a pretty good clip, we could get some whiteness on some of the grassy surfaces. We'll be talking more about that here in a bit.
See you soon. As we enter severe weather season, homeowners are encouraged to review their insurance policies. While home insurance isn't legally required in many cases, it does help protect your property investments. Craft Insurance in Joplin advises people to take a closer look at their coverage, making sure it includes everything needed to cover those unexpected expenses.
Springtime, especially whenever we start seeing the wind, the hail. Of course, you have a lot of roof damage, siding damage that can happen. And it's also just a good reminder that now's the time to be reviewing your current policies, because that industry, the insurance industry, is so crazy right now.
Kraft says there are a few things he believes you should not insure. We're going to cover that for you tonight on KOAM News at 10. Today, the Pittsburgh Public Library hosted an event for families seeking help with their energy bills. Staff from the Kansas Department for Children and Families were on hand to help families apply for the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, or LEAP. To find information on how you can still apply, check out this story on KOAMnewsnow.com. A liberal Missouri standout receives high honors for her work on the court. John Dales has more on the Bulldog named to All-State coming up in sports. But up first, displaced residents of a destroyed nursing home in Yates Center find shelter in other facilities. Four-staters in a number of communities are coming together to support residents who were displaced after that fire in Yates Center last week. Now those residents are finding homes in other facilities throughout southeast Kansas. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
A Yates Center nursing home was lost in a fire. Now the residents from the Yates Center facility have been moved to other locations, and they've received an outpouring of support from the community.
It's tough. It's very heartbreaking for them.
After a fire that took place at Yates Center Health and Rehab on March 14th, Whitney McLeod, the administrator at Pittsburgh Health and Rehabilitation Center, says many of the residents from the Yates Center nursing home have lost everything.
Tough. A lot of them have said that they lost everything as far as pictures and, their little knickknacks and clothes. Extremely grateful that we have this opportunity as well, that we can help out our sister facility. We all came together as a team. That's what we are, as one big family under Mission Health.
Pittsburgh Health and Rehabilitation Center received 7 of the 38 residents from the Yates Center nursing home. McLeod says she's happy to see how the Pittsburgh community has come together to donate and support those that lost so much in the fire.
After receiving the residents Friday night late, our entire lobby was just full of clothing and furniture and shoes and all kinds of things, toiletries. Our community has just been so incredible.
She says the Pittsburgh Health and Rehabilitation Center is working to make sure the residents have what they need, and she's grateful that all the residents from the Yates Center are safe.
All the residents to safety. There was no injuries with any of the residents, which is so phenomenal.
Other local nursing homes have also taken in residents who used to be at the Yates Center facility, including in Oswego and other locations in southeast Kansas. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, McLeod asks that the public hold off on donations for now while they go through what they've already received. She says there are plans to rebuild the Yates Center Health and Rehab. A little bit later, Pitt State softball takes its 8-game winning streak to Drury. John's going to have details coming up in sports.
And of course, we had near record highs on Tuesday. Maybe some snow this evening. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, a big switch for us today. Near record highs yesterday. Today we started in the 60s. Early this morning, dropped through the 50s, 40s. Now we're into the 30s. The wind is still moving. In fact, we had a 69-mile-per-hour gust at the Joplin Airport late this morning. But on average, if you take all of our gusts today, average wind gusts have been about 52, 53 miles per hour, which is super strong. We had the dust during the morning hours, and now we're on the backside of the system. The winds will calm down. It's going to take till after midnight. But look at this, about 40, 42 degrees colder right now compared to this time yesterday. Light showers, some sleet pellets mixing in Missouri, Arkansas, into Oklahoma. You can see a little bit of snow trying to mix in southeastern Kansas, but this back band will rotate through. So we have several hours of light rain, light snow. Now, it was 80 yesterday. It's above freezing, the ground is warm, so it would really have to come down to accumulate even to a dusting. But we could get a dusting, not on the roads, but on some of the grassy surfaces, which would probably melt right afterward as we go through the next few hours. Let's go through time. You can see some of the pink, sleet, rain, snow mixing in, especially southwestern Missouri. You guys have the better shot to get a little bit of whiteness on the grassy surfaces. Then this system will start to rotate out of here later on tonight, and the winds will start to back off late tonight. Still sustained winds at about 20 to 25, and over the past hour, we've still had gusts 50, 53, 54 miles per hour. But again, these will slowly come down. By morning, gusts kind of near 20. By Thursday evening, near calm, but here they come again on Friday. Not as strong, but still 30 to 40 by Friday afternoon. Upper 30s, so it's kind of cold. We have the rain, some sleet pellets kind of mixing in. 37 degrees is where we stand in Joplin. We'll kind of hang into the mid-30s this evening. But look at this powerhouse upper level low. A healthy line of severe thunderstorms working into Chicagoland at this time. We're on the back side, and it's this upper level low that is causing all the wind. We've had 3 of these big wind makers over the past 2 weeks. As we get into Thursday, some clouds in the morning. Breakout, we see some sunshine during the afternoon, but temperatures struggle to warm up. We'll stop at about 4:30, only 53 or 54 degrees. Not as cold Thursday night. We get some clouds in here. Those southerly winds start to pick back up. We'll back down 39 or 40. But by Friday afternoon, pretty good. We go into the mid-60s, 66, 67 degrees as a weak wave will pass by to our north and to our west. We could see a random sprinkle, but overall looks pretty good. All right, 33 to start, 44 by noon, high temp 53 on your Thursday. As we go into the weekend, we see 60 sticking around on Saturday, but we will start to get some thunderstorms in here Saturday night into Sunday morning. 53 on Thursday, 66 Friday, 67 Saturday. Morning thunderstorms on Sunday, a little cooler Monday, and then nice the second half of next week.
We look forward to that for sure. We should tell you that that documentary about the Joplin tornado, it's called The Twister Caught in the Storm. It hit Netflix today. Doug and I both watched that film this morning before we came into work. I should caution you that although there have been a number of documentaries about the Joplin tornado, this one might hit people especially hard because there's a lot of footage from inside the tornado. It's told largely through the perspective of some young people who survived that tornado. It also features Doug quite a bit in there. They interviewed you for that. They show some of the behind the scenes experiences that you had along with the young future meteorologist Chad Crilly, who was shadowing you that day and on the subsequent days. Tell us just a little bit about what it was like for you filming this documentary.
It was pretty intense. I actually knew that it was coming down the pike about a year and a half ago. So I did the interview last September, and it was very intense. It was 4 or 5 hours. Had to do it several times because you get emotional. But it was rough. It was definitely rough. But seeing the whole thing come together, I like how they put it together. But again, as you mentioned, for people who were very close, interacted in this storm, it's a tearjerker.
And it might trigger some PTSD for some people, for sure. The Twister Caught in the Storm on Netflix. Still ahead, a liberal Bulldog receives all-state honors in basketball, and Pitt State softball tries to stretch its winning streak to 9 games. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
Pittsburgh State softball is back in the top 25. The Gorillas are ranked 25th in the country in the most recent Division II coaches poll, and they're riding an 8-game winning streak, entering a doubleheader in Springfield this afternoon. It's a windy day in Springfield. Pittsburgh State takes on Drury. Gorillas in some trouble in the first inning. The bases are loaded. Ava Laurent, though, forces a grounder over to third, batter out at first, but a runner scores. Laurent then strikes out the next batter. That minimizes the damage. Gorillas down by 1. We go ahead to the third, bases loaded, 2 outs, and Laurent with another strikeout to escape the jam. Then in the fourth, runner on, 2 out. Heather Arnett makes the play at second. PSU gets out of trouble once again, now to the 6th. Gorillas down 2, without any hits to this point. Kendall Forbes first walks, then Heather Arnett gets hit by a pitch. Pitt State with something brewing. Elena Rushing, first PSU hit of the day, and it's a big one. Brings home 2 runs. It ties the game at 2. Caden Trokim then reaches on a fielding error over at third. Can the Gorillas capitalize? Yes, they can. Amaya Snyder finds the gap. That's a double, goes all the way to the wall, and it puts Pitt State ahead 4-2, but that's where the Gorillas' good fortune runs out. Drury ties the game in the 6th, then walks it off in extras, final score 5-4. Second game doesn't go any better for the Gorillas. They lose 9-1. They get swept in the doubleheader by the Panthers. Pitt State held to just 3 hits in this one compared to 8 from Drury. PSU tries to shake this one off with a couple of doubleheaders this weekend against Washburn on Saturday, then Emporia State on Sunday. And switching gears to basketball, Liberal High School senior and NEO commit Taylor Swarns receives All-State honors today. This comes as the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association releases its All-State teams for classes 1 through 3. Swarns helped lead the Lady Bulldogs to a trip to the state Final Four in 2024. That was when she was a junior. That year she was also an All-State honoree. And it's day 2 of the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament over in Dayton. We've got 2 more play-in games tonight before the round of 64 begins tomorrow. First game of the night is between a couple of 16 seeds, Mount St. Mary's against American. As we come on the air, Mountaineers lead the Eagles 38-34 with a few minutes to go before halftime. Whoever wins this one will get the prize of playing against the number 1 seed Duke, who's fresh off an ACC tournament championship. After that one wraps up, we've got Xavier against Texas, each battling for the number 11 spot in the Midwest region. Winner there will play Illinois on Friday. Both of them were a couple of the last teams to receive an at-large bid to the Big Dance. Tip-off tentatively scheduled for 8/10. And another name for folks around here to look out for and a team in the NCAA tournament, Ben McCollum. He's the head coach of the Drake Bulldogs. A year ago, he was coaching in the MIAA, playing against the Gorillas and the Lions. Tomorrow tomorrow evening, he's going to be coaching against the Missouri Tigers.
A lot of MIAA fans will wish him well, for sure. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. We have some advice for homeowners on dealing with insurance during severe weather season. Plus, we take a look back on how COVID has changed the way we do business. And the FAA makes plans to overhaul the U.S. air traffic control system. Those stories, a lot more, of course, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Family Resource Center in Pittsburgh cuts the ribbon for its expanded location. The facility is just behind the Mercy Hospital and will provide for 58 infants and children. The executive director, Ann Elliott, says with a new facility comes new leadership.
I don't feel like I have to be over here every day. We'll provide guidance, but she's been working at our center for about 4 months now, kind of getting used to things and the way we work it. And so it'll be a smooth transition for her. It'll be great. Probably a little quieter here for her. Yeah.
The new facility was funded by a $1.6 million grant from the state of Kansas and a portion of ARPA funding from the commissioners of Crawford County was also granted that totaled more than $288,000. Moving into spring, and that means rain, and it means sometimes cooler and warmer temperatures and a little bit of sunshine and a little bit of wind, and we have some of all of that, Doug.
Yeah, you forgot the snow and the sleet.
Yeah, well, I prefer to forget that.
I know, a little bit of light rain, sleet, and snow this evening. We could see a little bit of whiteness on the grassy surfaces, not a huge deal. Kind of chilly tomorrow, warmer on Friday.
Final sports notes.
I was talking about Pitt State softball earlier. Despite the 2 losses today, the Gorillas are in the top 25 for the first time this season.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.